This is wild. Two influencers are being called out for allegedly lying in their What I Got for Christmas videos, showing fake designer products and pretending like they are real.
So I was just casually walking around Walmart and I came across these two full carts. And I asked them, why are these all over here? And she told me that a gentleman came in and purchased all of these and made a TikTok video about purchasing them for his community.
I'm not naming no names, but I wish you guys knew how easy it is to fake being wealthy for the internet here in LA. A lot of those big money guys and your favorite creators don't live where you think they live. So up the street from here, we have this $100 million mansion that costs $90 an hour to rent out.
Well guys, I caught influencers lying again. This is now the second video on the channel where we are exposing influencers, and this time they made it extremely easy. With TikTok supposedly getting banned, influencers are just outright outing themselves, thinking the app's gonna go away, so who cares, I'll just expose my secrets. And lo and behold, the app most likely isn't going away, and they are caught with their pants down, lying to our faces yet again. So guys, do you actually believe everything influencers tell you? Let me know your thoughts on them down in the comment section below. Otherwise, let's get right into today's episode.
Let's talk about all the influencers who lied about what they built their entire platforms on. Now, I've seen some other videos of people also covering this topic, but I feel like they're covering people who were joking about their lie. So in this video, I'm going to focus on people who I think are telling the truth about lying. And first up is going to be Meredith Duxbury. If you don't know who Meredith is, she has 18.4 million followers, and she does beauty, fashion, and makeup content, and is also a model. And she first went viral in 2021 for her hashtag foundation challenge, in which she uses over 10 pumps of liquid foundation and then applies it with just her fingers. We all found out that TikTok was actually gonna go dark. A lot of people did a trend using a sound that said, since we're all gonna die, there's still one more secret I feel I need to share with you. And Meredith's secret was, I did wipe some of those 10 pumps off. Some people may even think, what's the big deal? Is it really that big of a deal that she actually wiped some of her makeup off before doing her video? I would argue yes, because a lot of people then went on to replicate these makeup looks. And because some of these videos went so viral, they got tons of brand deals and partnerships. This was a video that Meredith did with Allure where she's doing her makeup routine that's apparently not real. In one year, Meredith got top creator in Forbes for the fashion category. Even got to go to the American Music Awards because her TikTok was featured in one of the new categories under favorite trending song. I know some of these people's diehard fans are probably going to look at this like it's not a huge deal, but these influencers build their platforms on being relatable and different and unique and instilling a trust within their community. And they're basically telling you that they were willing to lie to you for internet fame.
So guys, I come from like a biased standpoint. I have never believed most, if not all, influencers and what they say. I'm very skeptical with a lot of this, especially since I've been in this area, in this niche for a long time. And I'm not just talking about making YouTube videos for you guys. When I first graduated college, I started working at an exotic car rental company, and you can only imagine the clients that I saw. I've actually worked and done business with quite a few celebrities you might know and influencers. Selena Gomez, Larry Wheels, lots of other massive influencers. Now, not to say that they were lying in any way, shape, or form. And a lot of them, at least the major ones, are just renting the cars just to use to get around town. But what I did notice is that the up-and-coming creators, the up-and-coming influencers, the wannabes, would rent cars just for the sole purpose of flexing their wealth and flexing their lifestyle, using them in rap videos, passing them off on social media as if it's real, as if they just bought them. So I'm not surprised that these influencers are lying. It almost comes with the business. They run out of content. They have to do more edgy things in order to push and get their videos to have more virality. It's very common that they do this.
So I was just casually walking around Walmart and I came across these two full carts of kids' returns, and I was just having a conversation with one of the associates, and I asked them, why are these all over here? They're on clearance, aren't they? Like, is there a clearance section? Is there any more? And she told me that 2 days ago, a gentleman came in and purchased all of these and made a TikTok video about purchasing them for his community. And 2 days later, She was outside having lunch, and she saw the same gentleman send an older gentleman in to return them. So I just want to give you guys a heads up. Some of these videos and some of these influencers that you're following, seriously, I guess you had to make rent.
See, it's crazy. I'm not surprised, but people are getting so desperate out there to be viral and be the next big thing. I honestly want the internet to do their thing and throw the video of the guy buying all that stuff for his community to pop up on my For You page, or someone to send that to me, because that's unbelievable. And again, it's not surprising. People will go to the extreme to do this. Well, you guys got to realize is unless you're like the top 1%, most all of the creators or influencers that you're seeing online do not actually make that much money. You have to be making a significant amount of money to quit your full-time job to be doing this full-time. And it's not as easy as it seems. Me doing this is very difficult. I get up very early in the morning, make these videos, do them often, and it is not my only revenue stream. If it was, it would be very difficult to live on. I have to do lots of other things. Sometimes I have good months, sometimes I had bad months. So it's no surprise that we're seeing people cheat the system or lie to their audiences to try to make their lifestyle appear better than it is. It's been going around for years. It's nothing new. But the part that pisses me off is when influencers or people lie and it gets other people involved and it ruins or makes life more difficult for other people. You know, cheating your audience, what comes around goes around, and you're probably going to end up screwing yourself, or you're going to get caught up in your own lies and you're going to get outed, and then the internet and social media is going to take its course on you and you're going to lose your influence. But when you do something like this, now you're screwing the employees over. You're screwing the business over, because now they have to go and put all that stuff back on the shelves and clean up after your mess. And it's honestly ridiculous. And we saw something similar, not to this effect with lying, but in my previous video on burr baskets, where people got influenced by influencers creating these burr baskets to give as gifts. And then we had this huge flock of people that got influenced by them to go to Target and create these baskets, and then they would leave them in the stores in places their boyfriends or girlfriends would find. And all it does is create more problems for the employees to go put them all away.
One more secret I feel I have to share with you. I did not care for
The scar did switch sides and was drawn on with a black Sharpie and an eyebrow stamp. So whoever this influencer is lying about whatever thing that got her famous, drawing a scar, and people are catching up. They're getting caught on their lies.
Godfather.
What?
She goes, JK, these were the dumbest things I've ever seen in my comments. Stop being weird. I don't know what that means.
What?
There's one more secret I feel I have to share with you. I did not care for the God.
I never actually used any of those special ice cubes. I mean, obviously, who cares? But again, they're probably passing it off because it ends up going viral because it's so extreme. We've done videos on her too, probably. Maybe not her specifically, but all those restock influencers that are using their ice cubes and ice cube trays, making hundreds of fancy special ice and filling up their entire freezer. Here they are outing themselves yet again that they don't actually use that stuff, and the only reason they do is to shill you an affiliate link, and they probably end up throwing all the ice out when they're done with their video. It's ridiculous.
There's one more secret I feel I have to share with you. I did not care for the...
She goes, stay-at-home daughter. That's the influencer she's passing off, this bougie lifestyle. And then here she is saying, I've had a corporate job this whole time because I can't actually afford to be a stay-at-home daughter. That's hysterical. Passing off that lifestyle like you actually make a ton of money to show your audience how you're living. And lo and behold, you can't actually afford it. And you've been working a job to make ends meet the entire time.
Godfather. Since we're all gonna die, there's one more secret I feel I have.
I didn't actually do my workouts is crazy work. So she doesn't actually do the workouts that she shows you guys. All these influencers running out of content, not knowing what to do anymore with their workout routines. So they end up faking it, just doing a couple sets to make that video and to tell you that that's what they did. And then they lie.
One more secret I feel I have to share with you. I did not care for The Godfather.
While we're here admitting things, if TikTok's going away, it wasn't an anxiety pen. I still to this day don't know who came up with that.
There's one more secret I feel I have to share with you. I did not care for The Godfather.
I obviously participated in the trend and shared my truth on here, but if this app is really only around for 90 days, I feel like you guys need to know the truth about some of your favorite influencers. People aren't being transparent. Your favorite workout influencers are on Ozempic.
Guys, I need to be real with you. At this point, you just have to go in and assume that almost all influencers are all lying to you for their benefit. Honestly, just go in with that mindset. I know it's, innocent until proven guilty, but at this point, it's guilty until proven innocent. You have to be extremely skeptical. Everyone and anyone is trying to be someone and an influencer, and they will go to great lengths to pass it off for virality. That's what it is. They will sell their soul to the devil in order to become viral, and they will lie through their teeth, get caught in the act, and still deny it to you. So it is insane. And this is why I make these videos. The whole point of the channel is for finance, is for money management, is for being financially free and financially independent. And in order for us to do that, you have to look through the bullshit that is on social media and online, because I know social media is a big part of our lives and it is extremely easy to be influenced. Hence why they're called influencers here. So you have to take it with a grain of salt and not believe anything, honestly, on the internet. The only way to is by, doing your own research and legit comparing their workouts to other workouts and stuff like that. I'm guilty. I've fallen for it too. There have been many times where I have done workout routines that I thought were actually beneficial or good because I saw something unique that an influencer did. I actually went and tried it. It's ridiculous. They only did it because it looked weird and they knew it would go viral on the internet. And here I am looking like an idiot at the gym trying some weird hanging curl that I think is working, and it's extremely inefficient. So I've fallen for them too. But the point is, you want to be careful because, hey, a harmless thing doing some curls at the gym to somebody else could really hurt themselves, or you could get financially screwed buying some stupid plan, paying for something that doesn't actually work.
Now that Acquired Style and Danielle Phelan are the same person. Lauren Wolf doesn't make her money as an influencer. She's a Nepo baby. Great-grandfather invented the harmonica. Why do you think she's always linking the exact one she's using? Audrey Peters rents all of her Birkins on Vivrel. Hallie Kate's house in the Hamptons. It's actually an influencer house. It's then paid for by Poppy. Aloe Gym isn't free for influencers. We all pay $50K a year to go there just to make videos.
All the YouTubers were faking their pranks in my area, by the way.
Right.
I'm the only one who took the fall for it, but every YouTuber faked their pranks in that era.
Right. I think we all come to learn that. I mean, that era is so far gone now. It's just...
Yeah.
But yeah, there was a point when everyone was like, dude, all these pranks are fake. And then a lot of the pranksters, yourself included, were like, they're not fake. They're 100% real. Vitaly was coke-filled rant about how everyone's a phony. He's only faked 5 pranks.
When they taught me how to fake pranks, so when I got invited into the inner circle at that time, and I was like, wait, y'all all fake your pranks? And they said, yeah. They taught me the method, which was posting a post on Craigslist, getting 20 random people to come, giving them $30 a pop. No, that's the thing. I always say this. I got canceled for fake pranks back when I got canceled as harder than some people get canceled for sexual assault today.
I was thinking that today because... we've been talking about Colleen Ballinger a lot. And I was like, man, Fousey got like totally dogpiled by the whole internet for faking pranks. But I was like, dude, Colleen Ballinger was like sending lingerie to 13-year-olds. I can say that.
So I wanted to throw that in there. For those that don't know, his name is Fousey from FouseyTube back in the day. I'm talking like a decade ago, 10 years ago. YouTube was extremely popular for pranking. That was what was huge on the internet. And I remember very much so watching his videos and Vitaly. I'm big on YouTube. I make YouTube videos. I like watching YouTube videos. But those were 2 creators that I genuinely enjoyed watching their content. And then many years later, they came out saying, it's all fake. It's all bullshit. We've been lying to you through our teeth. And it makes sense as I got older. I didn't know it then. I was a kid. which is their audience. They're lying to a bunch of children. They don't know the difference. Children don't have that same, understanding and critical thinking that adults do. So they believe a lot of this stuff that goes online. Teenagers believe a lot of these influencers and really truly look up to them as role models and heroes. And here he is outing himself, explaining it many years later. It's all fake. If you want to keep up with it, you have to fake the stuff. And it makes total sense. You got to understand, when you have a job like that, when your business is fully dependent on creating pranks or doing something where the outliers are totally out of your control, and you have a business you have to operate by posting weekly or monthly videos, it's very difficult to just happen to catch a crazy prank that just happens to happen. You have to plan these things. You have to get really good at planning them. And unfortunately, you have to fake them, because then things can be more in your bubble, more in your control. It's much easier to create something viral. It's much easier to create something that doesn't normally happen when it's all scripted. You know what I'm saying? That gets it back in their circle and in their control, and it's much easier to come up with a consistent schedule and to get that YouTube bag. You got to realize influencers would be out of jobs if they left things up to chance, if they left things up to just happen. It's much easier to lie and fake and keep pushing that envelope and that edge to make crazier, sketchier, and more unbelievable, unrealistic videos that people are like, there's no way that's true. That's clickbait. That's what gets more engagement, and that's all that they're after. Doesn't matter if they're lying.
I'm not naming no names, but I wish you guys knew how easy it is to fake being wealthy for the internet here in LA. A lot of those big money guys and your favorite creators don't live where you think they live. So up the street from here, we have this $100 million mansion that costs $90 an hour to rent out. A lot of creators rent that space once a week, film their content, and make it look like they live there. Rent a Lamborghini or a Ferrari, $99 an hour. Yep. It gets crazier because most people in LA have a following. Because to be a model or an actor, there's a lot of casting calls you can't go to unless you have a following. What used to happen is when you got with an agency, they would dump you a bunch of bots. Now most people realize how that damages an account, but the metrics are still there. And since most people don't know how to do that, they end up buying followers, likes, comments, shares, everything. So they can go to casting calls and keep their agency. There's even more because there's agency funded houses out here. Anyone who's part of that agency can go film there and make it look like they live there. And they encourage you to do this because it looks better for the internet. But there's even more because we also have designer rental services. It's between $300 and $800 a month, and you get bags, shoes, sunglasses, clothing, anything you need, all designer. Just wear it, get your pictures, and then send it back. As long as you don't ruin it, you don't have to pay for it. You can fully construct a lifestyle out here of wealth. And that's part of the reason we're starting to get a bunch of influencer debt resolution companies now. Like, you don't need to feel bad about yourself. Just wear the 10-cent shirt from the thrift store. Nobody cares, I promise you. Build your content around something else. You don't have to look rich to be a creator.
And you know what's even crazier than these influencers lying to you? It's the fact that 80% of you that watch these videos aren't actually subscribed to the channel. Now, maybe some of you guys forgot, but it is completely free to subscribe, and there are no strings attached. It doesn't cost a cent. And no, I'm not lying to you. Subscribing to the channel lets me know that you guys like to see content like this, and it also lets me know that you want me to keep creating content like this. So if it's not too much to ask, just tap that subscribe button down below. That's actually so interesting. She pretty much just outed all the secrets of what they do in LA for these creators here. It really is truly interesting. I think the vast majority of your everyday millionaire does not do what influencers are doing. You got to understand the amount of millionaires there are, and then the amount that want to show themselves on the internet, that want to expose and show off this lifestyle is so small. It's so tiny. The vast majority of them really, really, really value their privacy, because that's one thing that once you lose, it's extremely hard to get back. So of all these millionaires, you then have a tiny group that probably make their money from being an influencer. And then even then, they can't keep up with the extremely expensive fashion and all the other goodies that they have to rent it. And there's all businesses being made off that. I don't know.
TikTok is left shaking after an influencer lied about having cancer and scammed people out of over $37,000. 19-year-old Madison Russo was arrested on January 23rd on first-degree theft charge. She set up a GoFundMe page and said she was battling cancer.
Wow.
She also said she had a tumor the size of a football. Madison got caught in a lie when several medical professionals saw discrepancies in her TikTok post and reached out to authorities. Madison faces up to 10 years in prison.
It's like, was it worth it? Money makes people do some crazy things, especially fame. And I guess once she started seeing the money roll in, she got addicted and she kept it going. And eventually what comes around goes around and you get caught. But that's pretty extreme to be lying about cancer. I think there was some other, influencer that got popular. It wasn't an influencer, but she practically became an influencer she was in a wheelchair. It wasn't her. Her mother was making her fake sick, taking her around the country and getting a lot of money, pretending that her daughter was sick by purposely making her daughter sick, which is sick within itself. Not surprised yet again. There you go. Haven't you seen those mukbangs? Haven't you seen? We did a Crumbl cookie video where these people are eating. We're talking like 8,000 calories worth of cookies, which is insane. And I always wonder, are they actually eating that stuff? How are they still skinny if they're eating it? She forgot to edit out the fact that she spits out all the freaking food after she's done chewing it. It's really crazy the extent that people will go. It truly is.
This famous mukbanger was caught red-handed faking her videos.
Did you know people are accusing Boki's mukbang is fake and all edited out? She might have spit out her food and it looks very unnatural in certain videos.
Many believe she's faking it just for clout. Otherwise, she wouldn't look so lean, but rather like Nikocado Avocado. Others, though, claim she just has a fast metabolism, good workout routine, and good genes. So could Boki be hiding something?
Certainly is spitting it out. I would almost guarantee it. You can only have a fast metabolism for so long. And I always said it when I was younger and I saw friends in high school and even college specifically where they're eating the most nasty stuff. They're not sleeping. They're drinking constantly. And I said, it's going to catch up to them. Same thing with people in high school. And now I've looked at their social media and what they look like now, and they have gained so much weight because they don't change. They don't take their health seriously and it catches up to them. You can only ride on that fast metabolism for so long until it screws you because it does slow down. And if you're not taking care of yourself, it will catch up to you. And I would think the same with these mukbangers. Maybe some of them are actually getting away with eating it, but if you're not exercising, and I don't know how you would be, even with exercise, to offset the 8,000 calories you're eating a day for a video, unless you're like Matt Stone, who fasts like 3 days prior to eating, who's like a competitive food eater, you're going to gain a tremendous amount of weight.
This is your quarterly reminder that brands like Crumbl cookies intentionally manipulate the nutrition facts and labels in order to make you think that you're eating less calories than you actually are. And they're really not helping with the ongoing obesity epidemic. Every time I make this video, I always have people in my comments saying, you're not supposed to eat the whole cookie, or it's a big ass cookie, nobody thinks it's only 200 calories. But what you don't realize is that most Americans have zero concept of nutritional knowledge. Yep. And yeah, I enjoy some Crumbl on my bulks and my cheat days. I think that it's a very high reward dessert that can be enjoyed in moderation, but the amount of hoops you have to jump through just to see the nutrition facts is crazy. You click on this drop down menu and then you got to click on nutrition. You click on regular cookies. You get to a page where you have to click on yet another drop-down menu, and only then can you see the amount of true calories in a whole cookie. I also want to mention that there's virtually nothing in store that says that this is a serving size and that serving size is only a fourth of a cookie. So your first question probably is, how do they get away with being so deceitful? Well, you see that little asterisk right there? It's actually a rather very common tactic used in the supplement and fitness world to make a claim, and I'm just using Gorilla as an example. This is not a bad product, but they make a claim and then they could just add a footnote. Be mindful of what you're consuming and don't be afraid to dig further. Good luck.
And I guess it doesn't just stop at influencers. You even have companies trying to get away with this nonsense and this crap and deceive and trick people into believing something they know. Crumbl knows dang well that if they were to advertise 1,200 calories per cookie on their sign, on their menu that you order from in the store, do you know how many people would obviously leave and walk away? Probably a vast majority of them. When they see that, they're like, what? That's insane. And they would leave. But like he said, most people are just in their own bubble, in their own world, don't put much thought into it, just walking through life, not really thinking too much. I mean, I do it sometimes. You don't realize you got so much going on in your head. You see 200, you're like, okay. And who would assume you're not supposed to eat the whole cookie? That one cookie is 4 servings. Get real. Are you kidding me? Obviously, the overwhelming majority of people are going to assume they see calorie count 200 with the whole freaking cookie next to it and it's not cut in a quarter, that it's the whole thing. But they deceptively do this to try to influence you to buy it because they know it would hurt their business and their reputation. And we see this constantly within a lot of these creators. If you're an influencer trying to push a lifestyle that people want to live, you can't do that if you don't have the fancy car and the fancy clothes and the fancy house and the fancy watch. Think about it. If I was trying to convince you guys that you should live this lifestyle that I have, oh, I'm so bougie with all this fancy stuff and I can afford it and all you got to do is sign up. If I'm flexing you that and I'm in raggedy clothes, in debt up to my eyeballs, and I told you guys that, you obviously wouldn't be listening to me or you wouldn't be buying it. You know what I'm saying? So they do this purposely to deceive and fraud their audience.
This is wild. 2 influencers are being called out for allegedly lying in their what I got for Christmas videos, showing fake designer products and pretending like they are real to show off, to get views. I'm not sure, but either way, we need to discuss.
You guys, Kylan is addressing the Christmas haul drama. And if you have no idea what I'm talking about, Kylan and her sister Izzy did a luxury Christmas haul. Much like any other influencer at this time, they're showing what they got for Christmas. And they were showing some bougie things. Birkins, Chanel shoes, Chanel bags, bag charms. And as people were watching these hauls, they were like, there's no way that this stuff is real. It is giving DHgate. Izzy ended up deleting her full haul. She did leave up this video, but Kylan has now come out with a video where she is like, you guys, I thought everybody knew that sometimes you have real stuff, sometimes you have fake stuff, like it's not that deep. And everyone in the comments is like, it's because you implied it was real. This whole drama is honestly just like so funny because the internet clocked that those bags were fake and the shoes were fake like so quick and didn't know if it was the case of like they bought all that stuff off DHgate so they could like look luxury, look all bougie and rich for a haul. I was hoping it wasn't the case where like their mom had gifted it to them and they thought that it was real and the internet was about to expose their mom, but she's
Nah, I don't believe in coincidences anymore. Sorry. I used to give people the benefit of the doubt at, first time, shame on you, second time, shame on me, but it's coincidence after coincidence. Oh, I didn't know. Oh, I didn't know. Oh, you happen to be an influencer on social media with a massive following. You're massively involved in the fashion community here, and you can't tell the difference. You don't know if you got a fake Louis bag from your mom, even if she did. Obviously, she knows it's fake. And then she came out with it afterwards explaining that it was fake. It's crazy. And this is why I say the truth will always come out. And these influencers that are caught lying, eventually you can only go so far on a lie until you mess up, until the lies catch up to you and you get caught, because you eventually will. And then it all backfires on you. And then they start playing the denial, the whole guilt card. It's ridiculous.
You're saying, you guys, of course, like, it's fake. I thought that was normal for people to have a mix of real and fake things.
I thought that everybody knew that, like, people buy, like some of my stuff that's designer is real and some of it's fake. I thought that was, like, an everybody thing.
It is an everybody thing. The difference is you didn't tell people what it was that you were flaunting. You didn't say, here's my $50 DHgate bag. She would have been fine had she have done that. But instead, she lies and mixes in the designer fake stuff with the designer real stuff, pretending and trying to pass it off as if it's real, as in, ooh, look at me. And here she is getting caught and now coming up with some lie as usual.
I guess I didn't know that this was going to blow up the world. Like, just because my mom handed us some, like, we got some real things, we got some fake things. Like, I thought that was normal, and
it is.
I didn't mean to offend anybody, but whenever my mom hands me a Christmas present, I'm the person, I was raised to be grateful for whatever I got.
Give me a freaking break. It's always the denial after she was caught. Had she not have been caught, never would have came out. You would have kept thinking it was real. Her audience would have thought she was real, kept praising her and looking up to her. Oh my God, she gets so much stuff. Because people want this. It's been around for years. These are all the scams that have been around so long, passing off the lifestyle. Mary Kay, Arbonne, the pink Cadillac, to give that allure of this fancy lifestyle, and you have to keep up with it. And people look up to this all the freaking time. The whole passive income, stay at home, I don't need to work, I can just get all this money without doing anything, is all a flaunt and not actually real to get you into falling for whatever shit they're trying to sell you. It's so obvious. I mean, I could make videos on all the fake scams that are going on, but this is the biggest one.
Imagine you were caught stealing because you were creating content on TikTok and posting videos of your very theft happening before people's eyes. Well, that's exactly what happened with Marlena. So I did not personally follow her, but I've gone down the rabbit hole.
Cape Coral Police Department. I'm in Fort Myers, literally the town above me. I've been there several times. I can't believe that. Cape Coral.
Essentially what happened was she was a content creator who had an aesthetic type of content. She would post hauls and things like that. And on this particular day, she was recording her entire shopping trip. These are one of those accounts where they go and recklessly spend $500 and they almost give the audience an idea that I can do it, you can't, so come along with me and watch what I can buy. All the while, she actually wasn't buying it either. She was caught stealing. What ended up happening is she went to the self-checkout line. She used a fake barcode for a majority of her items, so she was paying but wasn't actually paying the full price for all of these items. She then goes on to continue the content, loading it up in her car and going home and actually showing it. The police released this photo and asked if anybody had any leads, which is obviously where people were able to connect the dots and say, that's her. Now, Marlena had over 300,000 followers from what I'm understanding, and she was a really good content creator. People loved watching her aesthetic content. But the thing I cannot get over is what people are willing to do to create content.
Yep.
If you can't create content without that, you need to look at yourself and say, okay, people are loving this type of thing. What can I do and how can I shift it? Because I can't afford $500 for Target. Furthermore, I feel like people just really need to recognize how fake social media is. We see these hauls and we get down on ourselves and we're like, oh, I could never afford something like that. Neither could she, apparently. They're doing this to get you engaged and get you watching, all the while behind closed doors. Things are not what they seem.
Oh my gosh. Oh my goodness. Do I love that? Did I not just say in the previous videos that we just watched that it will catch up to you, that these influencers will get outed and they will get exposed and what's coming for them will catch up to them? Unbelievable. Here it is. Set in stone, prime example of the bullshit that goes on social media. And I just want you guys to be aware. I just want you guys to understand what's out there. You know, you want to watch your influencers, by all means, consider it entertainment. But my problem is, and I worry because I see it, I just have this different mindset now that I quit working a full-time job, 9 to 5. Something in your brain changes. You no longer become settled. You know, you don't settle. You don't go, okay, you don't get comfortable. You're always, my mind is always going now, 24/7. Everything I see, I'm watching, I'm evaluating, I'm making inferences on. I'm just looking at things through a different lens now that I'm fully self-employed, and I can see it, especially now that I have, a social media following or I'm on the internet here. I look at things differently and I always go, something's off about that. Something is. And here we are. This is a prime example. And my point is, I don't want you guys to fall for it. So I'm trying to expose this and make as many people aware of what is going on so that you guys can have that same thought process that I do here. But it's crazy. It truly is crazy. I'm not surprised for fraud, for theft. It's crazy. It's unbelievable here. Make this a lesson to be learned here. I have so many other videos I didn't even get to include in this episode here that we're most likely going to be making a part 2 to catching influencers. Again, if you haven't already seen the first influencers getting caught video, then make sure to check it out after this. Otherwise, make sure to smash that like button, turn on post notifications, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video. Peace.